Hey there, everyone. So, as you can see, I've changed up the avatar a little bit, and I think I'll be sticking with this for the foreseeable future, if not the rest of the length of whenever I decide to do this podcast. So, GIFs, pictures, it should show Bun Bun as this, and I hope you like it. And yeah, so on to the chat. So, like I said in my previous one, I wanted to do a different sort of not different sort of podcast. I wanted to talk about something else. But obviously with the news and how that situation is turning out, I decided to just give my quick opinion on that. And go Ukraine, kick Russia's ass. I know it may not be the best situation, but yeah, kick their ass. You guys deserve to be your own nation. And I hope Putin... Well, I'm not going to say I hope Putin dies, but I hope Putin learns his fucking lesson because he's a fucking idiot. Anywho, so, as you all know, Amazon is releasing a show called Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, which is supposed to be a prequel to the Lord of the Rings / Hobbit series of movies. Now, I won't go into a full detail review of those movies, but let's just say Lord of the Rings, the movies got me into wanting to read the books Lord of the Rings. I have the books on ebooks and I think in paperback. And I also have, I'm pretty sure, The Fellowship on Audible. Problem is, I failed so many times to sit down and read, and I need to do that. Also, listen, I'm very bad with doing Audible stuff. I don't know why. I have my music on all the time when I'm at work, so you think it'd be really easy for me just to pop my headphones on or pop a speaker on and just listen that way, but no, I don't, because I'm too freaking lazy. That, and I'd have to be pausing every 5 seconds to hear what people are talking or trying to serve food, so I'm not paying attention most of the time. So, yes, the Lord of the Rings movies were masterpieces. I understand that they took a lot out to accommodate, to make it easier, I guess. I don't know, easier is the right term. More palatable, and to make the ring more of a threat, like with Tom Bombadil. Excuse me if I'm saying that wrong to any fans who know more than me. He was able to put the ring on and not suffer any consequences, where in the movies he was cut out, because if you have a character who's not affected by the ring like that, it kind of goes, oh, cool. It's just a ring now. So I do appreciate what they did to make the ring more terrifying, and obviously make it one of the biggest threats out there besides the ring getting to Sauron and him getting his full power. I also learned that Sauron himself, like a hologram image of him in his fairer form, was to fight Aragorn at the gates, and they took him out, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, I understand. But I think that would have been cool to have Aragorn fight a form of Sauron at the end there. To the Hobbit movies. I've read The Hobbit twice, so I enjoyed it. I did get into it. I think I have an Audible. I'm not sure, but I did read it twice. I'm not like 100% sure on every single little detail, obviously, but when I heard that they were doing the Hobbit movies, like, okay, I'm going to read the book again, to catch up and everything, to make sure it was all cool and dandy. And oh boy, the trilogy. That was a mistake. I understand that Warner Brothers went to Peter Jackson said, "We want another trilogy." I don't think anyone on the board who said that realized that The Hobbit could have been done in one movie with all the added stuff, like the stupid love triangle. Adding Legolas to the movie itself kind of contradicts him not knowing Gimli, since he saw a picture of him and it was mentioned as a joke. He saw a picture of Gimli as a kid. It's just like one of those, like, wait, why? Never mind. Bad CGI. The mere fact that they really added so much to it, it just kind of ruined, not the specialty, but it did mar the legacy of Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Didn't destroy it. I mean, there were some good aspects. I loved the actors. Let me rephrase that. I forget his name already. I loved Bilbo's actor. I can't remember his name. That's so bad. And I love the fact that they got Benedict Cumberbatch to do Smaug. That was really cool because obviously the two. Give me a moment. I'm looking up his name now. Bilbo Baggins, actor. Martin Freeman. God, I can't believe I forgot that. Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch. They played a couple times together, and they're a very good team. So hearing Benedict doing Smaug was really cool. They did Smaug all right. They could have done him a lot better. They could have stuck more to the book, in my opinion. Like the whole chase in the Lonely Mountain with the dwarves. I understand they maybe wanted to add tension to it to make him seem more of a threat. But honestly, it was just one of those things like, why are they doing this? And then they covered Smaug in gold. He got out, and then he attacked the village. Just one of those things that I saw it in the theaters. Like, oh, this is so bad. CGI did not hold up at all. It was terrible. Like the CGI in Lord of the Rings, I mean, even to this day, look amazing. CGI for The Hobbit, however, is worse than Marvel movies these days. And you know how bad the Marvel movie CGI is getting because of being they're pumped out so fast, so quickly. So, I was not a fan of the Hobbit movies. I love the book. So, long before they announced the Rings of Power movie show, whatever it's going to be, I tried reading the Silmarillion. Again, any Tolkien fans out there, I do apologize. I'm probably not saying it right. But I did pick it up. I think I have it again on ebooks. But I could not get into it. Like, I'm trying to get back into it again with the ebook, but the old style of English, which I applaud, I think is cool. It's difficult for me to understand it, try to visualize it. Like for Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, I could do it long before I saw any of the motion pictures. I could get into it, but when I started reading the Silmarillion, it was it's going right over my head, which I don't like. I wish I could get into it again, and I'm definitely going to try to because of the show. But fast forward to whenever they announced the show, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Not necessarily looking forward to it, because at first I thought it was going to be a remake of the movies, which obviously we know remakes are not doing so well these days. Then it was a prequel. I was like, okay, why? Now, it's supposed to be taken in part from the Silmarillion, which is odd to me, since the history of Middle Earth spans so much. And again, they can do a lot of things if they stick with the well-known history, if you're a Tolkien fan, which I am not a big enough Tolkien fan to know what is what and who did where kind of thing. I am on a YouTube subscription called Nerd of the Rings, and they do appear to be extremely knowledgeable of Lord of the Rings and all of its lore and all that. I would recommend go checking them out. So, given that, I was like, okay, maybe. Then I heard the big news that they fired the Tolkien historian, which basically meant they fired the seemingly the only person on the cast and crew who understood the history of Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and all of Tolkien's works. Which is one of those things, when you hear that, you immediately lose all expectations. The day after I heard about that, I heard that they hired a intimacy director or coordinator or something. And that they wanted their show to be like Game of Thrones. My expectations immediately were tossed out the proverbial window. I no longer care about this show, because as soon as you get into trying to be like Game of Thrones with an intimacy coordinator, actor, whatever this title bullshit is, you're not Lord of the Rings anymore. You're just going to be a knockoff with magical rings. So congratulations, you fucked it up. Now, they did, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, they released some of the trailer images, or first images, and the show has gone complete wokeness, is the term, I guess, and that's what they're celebrating. They're not celebrating that it's a Lord of the Rings film or a show, whatever. They're celebrating that they now have a diverse cast. Congratulations, you have a diverse cast. No one gives a shit. But the fact that you have to go out and have I think it was a Variety article, saying new series, including the race that Tolkien had forgotten about. You lost so many more fans to that. So again, congratulations, Amazon. You played yourself. And it's not that Tolkien had forgotten any actors of color, people of color. It was set in his fictional world, and his fictional world was based off of Anglo-Saxon lore. Now, I don't see people complaining that the Norse had no gods of color, or the Asian cultures have no gods of color, or the Japanese have no gods of color. It's a new modern day thing that everything and everyone has to be diverse. So, for me, if you had a diverse cast, you didn't announce it months before your show comes out, everyone like, okay, cool, they have a diverse cast. They have a black dwarf queen, I probably would not have given two shits if it wasn't, again, shoved in our face. I would have thought, well, dwarves spend their time underground about, I don't know, 90% of their lives because they're fucking dwarves and they mine shit. Again, I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have minded seeing a black dwarf queen. Then you have them proudly announcing that they have a black elf. Again, cool. I don't see why that's so cool and exciting, other than saying, hey, we have a diverse cast. So, again, don't announce you have a diverse cast and that's your selling points of the show. Your selling points of the show should have been, we're making a Lord of the Rings show, and it's going to be a prequel set like 200 years, 250, whatever, before the Hobbit. And then you're going to explain why these rings are so evil and what happened to the people who took them. Like, oh, excuse me. Like, obviously we know what happens to them because we've seen the movies and we've read the books. But you could have had, what happened to the human kings? How did they go insane? What did they do while they had the rings when Sauron was corrupting them? Like, there was so much you could have done, but you seemingly focused more on diversity and inclusion to a fictional world that didn't honestly need it, because there were people of color in Tolkien's world. You just didn't see them in the movies. And then they also announced they changed Galadriel's character completely, where she was a elf queen who was cool, calculating, and wise, to basically a warrior princess who's seeking revenge, which pretty much, as I'm told, goes against her character completely. Which, again, you're changing something for what? No reason. You're not changing it for any reason other than you need to have a checkbox marked or something. That's what it seems like. And again, I probably wouldn't have said anything. I probably would have gone, maybe over her years of being immortal, she changed her ways after XYZ event. But no, you gotta put that right in our face and say, oh, this is Galadriel now. This is who she is. Deal with it. So it's just it seems like a lot of pandering, a lot of, hey, you have to deal with this because we say this is now the new history. And as other YouTubers have said, well, how do you explain what happened to all the new races, new people of color, like the dwarf queen? What happened to the dwarf queen? Are you gonna kill her off in the show? What happened to the elf? Is there more than one elf of color? I mean, how are they gonna explain this? Like, it's just one of those things. Like, cool, you have people of color in the show. What happened to them between now and the movies? So, I feel like they shot themselves in the foot with that one. And then recently, in order to pump up even more excitement, Amazon released super fan trailer reactions. And oh boy, it was so exciting and cool. These super fans were so excited to see the trailer that explains jack shit. Like, if you want to look up the trailer yourself, it's a teaser trailer. They don't reveal anything, and these super fan reactions are just over the top. Like, oh my god, it's so amazing. Oh my god, I can't wait to see this. It's like nothing's explained. You just see sweeping shots. You see some of the characters. You see the awful CGI again. Like, it's a step up from The Hobbit, but it's not Lord of the Rings good either. I mean, this is Amazon. You think they'd have better budget for CGI, but they don't for some reason. But apparently they did this for a lot of different countries and languages, which is all right. I mean, it's good, obviously, because obviously Amazon wants to build up hype and saying all the super fans are super excited that therefore you should. It's a good marketing technique, obviously. But here's the thing. Someone compiled all the at least 4 of them together. And yeah, let me see if I can't find him again. But it doesn't look good at all. Like, literally, you can tell it's all staged. There's scripts. There's a giant singular castle set that cost a pretty penny. And apparently, the superfan trailer reactions were a budget. Like, it was basically a movie. And oh my god, it was bad because you can tell there's scripts and everything is heavily edited. And it's just like, this is what you're trying to sell us, Amazon? You're trying to get us to see this show, but you're going to have these people coming in, going off a script and acting. It's not good because, again, they're going off scripts. They're having the same reactions. The guy is Disparu, Dispauru, and I'll try to remember to link the video in my description. So if I don't, I do apologize. But look up Lord of the Rings, more fake superfans revealed. And you can see just how bad it is. And obviously this guy did a much better job than I ever will. And I'm just kind of summarizing my feelings and all this. But yeah, Amazon, you're not doing yourselves any favor. Especially after you find out that these super fans, these supposed super fans, are literally paid actors. One of them in the UK, I think it was the UK trailer, said he's actually never read a single Tolkien book. And these people are supposed to be Tolkien, Lord of the Rings super fans, where they know more than the average person because they're super fans, which I don't like. I don't understand the difference between fans and super fans, but I guess it's just they're supposed to know more than everyone else. I don't know. But again, Amazon, this is not helping you. This is all detrimental. This is you losing old school fans. Like, it's sad. Like, I kind of wanted to see it after I found out it was a prequel and you were going to be basing it off the Silmarillion. But when you fire the lore expert, you hire an intimacy coach, and you are celebrating only how diverse your cast is, your cast and crew is. You're not doing yourself any favors. Diversity is good, yes. Don't force it. Don't shove it down our throats. And don't change the histories of certain characters that we know to be wise, calm, cool, collected to revenge-seeking, badass Xena warriors. If she was developed in the movies to be a Xena warrior princess, this would make more sense. But when you just say we're going to put a suit of armor on her with a huge sword and she's going to be leading armies and seeking revenge for her dead, I think it was dead brother, and that's not her character, that doesn't work. So yeah, my opinion is don't see this show when it comes out. I think it's going to be a dumpster fire, like a lot of shows are these days. I've been ranting for almost 30 minutes now. I don't think I did that before. I might have. But yeah, that's just how I feel about what's going on and with this whole Amazon show. It's just, again, you should get the lore expert. You don't need to have sex in a Lord of the Rings show to be like Game of Thrones. You don't need to be like Game of Thrones at all. You could be your own thing. You don't need to shove how diverse you are down our throats either, and that's the only thing you celebrate. Because that's one of the things in the Superfan trailer that they say is, oh my god, look at the diversity. Oh my god, there's such a diverse cast. And one of the guys literally says, I bet if Sauron was hot, we'd be able to change him, or something to that effect. And it's like, well, Sauron, before he became pure evil and put on the armor, he was pretty fair looking, because he was described as being a fair looking person, meaning he was a elf, therefore immortal, therefore very good looking. But that doesn't change the fact that he also harbored a lot of hate, and he followed the first Dark Lord of the Tolkien world of Middle Earth. Again, look up Lord of the Rings. They have a lot more information on that, and they summarize it pretty well, and everything's very digestible. So yeah, I think I'm going to end that here. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like the new format I'm going to try to stick with. I'm probably not going to be showing clips of videos of trailers and all that, or other YouTubers, because obviously I'm a very small channel right now. I don't want to get any strikes. One of my previous reviews, I actually had to take down the video, despite the fact that what I showed was open to the public. So the reason I'm going to be having pictures up where they are now is simply because I don't want to get struck. I don't want people going, oh, well, he's using my video and stuff like that. So I'll try to take screenshots. I'll try to show what I am talking about in the description, if not in the lower third corner, wherever. So hopefully this new format is good for you guys. And with that, I'm hitting 28 minutes. Jeez. 28 minutes on this rant. So I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll get this down eventually. I hope you guys all have a good night, good day, whatever time you are listening to this. And I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
Hey, post-production Bun here. Yeah, the Amazon situation just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Apparently the trailer I told you about from the UK was taken down because it's completely anti-Tolkien, very racially and gender identity politics influenced, and it was downvoted to all hell like the others, but the other languages apparently are just boring jibber jabber about stuff. And now I'm going to link the two videos I got this info from. There's a article out there equating Lord of the Rings of Power criticism to mass murder. Yeah, I have no words for that one either. So, yeah, I'm going to link these videos in my description. And I'll let you guys judge for yourself on this. It's like some people just don't like to have criticism for stuff. Anyway, see ya.